Databases. Have you ever created databases in regular, or if not, have you created databases in Snowflake? If that is what you have not done, this video is for you. So I'm going to create some theory where I'm going to create some databases where I'm going to show you how to create a database, alter a database, and show a database commands, and also give you some background and theory of what a database is. So watch this video till the end so that you would understand how Snowflake databases really work and take your career to the next level. At the end of this video, I put some good information about Snowflake architecture and overview that will help you kickstart your career in Snowflake. So thanks a lot. Watch this video rather than wasting a lot of time. Let's jump onto my screen. So what is a Snowflake database? Snowflake database by nature, if you see, so let's talk about databases, right? So in a regular relational databases, the database is basically consisting of tables and views. And if you don't know what is a table and view, please put in the comments and I can probably share some links which I've already done. But in the Snowflake world, the database or the Snowflake logically groups its area as a database and as a schema. And collectively, this group is called a namespace. So when you come into a namespace in Snowflake, you can call it a database, but a schema and a database collectively is called a namespace. And I'll show you the demo of it, in a second. There are two kinds of databases in Snowflake. One is a permanent database and one is a transient database. Permanent database is the default one. So when you start creating a database in the UI or in the IDE, the integrated development environment, permanent database is the default one. So let's understand what are the differences between it and create one database on the go. So continuous data protection. So you can protect your data the way you want in a permanent database. And this happens only in the enterprise edition. If you have not seen my previous video where I created a trial account, so go watch that. I'll put a link in the top here. You will know there are three types of accounts. One is a standard, business, and an enterprise version. This happens only in the enterprise version. So I do not have the enterprise version trial account, but if I get it and sometime, I'll definitely show you about that. Two beautiful features about a permanent database is time travel and fail safe. I'll show you in the next slide what is a time travel and fail safe. This is a very good feature in Snowflake, which is actually acting as a differentiator in the market right now. So that is the reason many companies want to move into Snowflake. Whereas a transient database is a one day only. So it doesn't have this time travel. It doesn't have fail safe. It always keeps the data in a one day only situation. I mean, you cannot store data more than 1 day old. Right. Time travel. So let's say you have a database and somebody drops it. Right? I drop it. Let's say I created a database and I dropped it, and you want to restore that database back. How do you really restore that? You can use time travel feature, which can go back up to last 90 days. If it's a permanent database in Snowflake, create that, query the standard Snowflake SQL query, and do your work. So that is the beauty of Snowflake time travel. If you want more details about it, put it in the comments again, I can explain more. What is fail safe? As the safe word says, your data is protected, right? And when something really goes wrong, right? Snowflake comes to our rescue. Snowflake, when I say, is the Snowflake company comes to our rescue. And this particular feature is only accessible by Snowflake employees. If something is lost, you lost your data, you deleted it, you didn't put time travel on top of it, something like that, right? You can reach out to Snowflake, but within 7 days of the problem, not more than that, as per my understanding as of now. So within 7 days, you reach out to them and they'll be able to retrieve the data set for you. I have not tried that feature, but if any of you are already on Snowflake and trying to figure out how this happens, try this feature. It's really cool. So yeah, it saves a lot of money, right? I mean, it's helpful for us, and it's that value is there. So now let's get into the demo part of it. Let's look at some basic commands like create, alter, and show. That let's keep that scope of the video for that. So let's do some create database. How does a create statement look? So use role admin. So sysadmin. So you want to use is a very famous command in Snowflake. You'll start using it more. Role is like which role I want to create. So when I'm creating this database, I'll be using the sysadmin role while I'm creating the database. As the statement goes, it's basically similar to any other database, create or replace database name, and you can give a comment. So let's see how does this work. So I'm in the Snowflake environment right here. On the left side, if you see all the databases, I want to create a database on the UI. So I click a plus mark here. Let me give it a name. First UIDB. I'll do that. And while I'm putting the comment here, if you have any particular comments, do put in here and I can help you in what kind of database. So this is our first DB. Let's create it from UI. Click create. So the database is creating. You see the progress are moving. So database is created. I see the first UIDB. Now let's create one database from the worksheet too. So I went there, clicked on the worksheet. So let me copy the statement. Actually, I can write it, but let me copy the statement. Statement copied. Let me jump there. Paste. Use sysrole admin. As you see here, I'm using the sysrole admin and create or replace database. First DB. First DB is the database of my database name. I'm running on top. Oops, looks like there's some error. Okay, I think the comment is in double quotes. I have to make it a single quote, I guess. So yeah, single quote, like single quote at the end, single quote. Let me run now. Okay, if you see here, my database is successfully created. Now let's look at the show databases command. Show databases command is nothing but how many databases do I have. So in a way, I've already created two databases. The first UIDB which I created from the UI and the first DB which I created using the Snowflake worksheet. So the show database command works for an account admin. So I'm at the account admin level because I want to see all the accounts, and under the account, how many databases are there. So after that, we'll also create a transient database. We spoke about the transient database where it can retain only up to 1 day of data. That's also useful sometimes, but the transient keyword is basically where you see the transient keyword in bold. That is what it is. So let's go create our first TSDB, transient database. So use role sysadmin. Let me remove this. Let me probably type. Use role sysadmin card, create or replace transient database. Let's change the comments that we know. Yeah, that is the TSDB. Right, let me run. Oops, I see a dotted mark. That's the PowerPoint problem. So let me run this. If you see, I can see all the transient database is also successfully created. Database first TSDB successfully created. Now let me write the show databases command. Show databases. Let me run it. Yep. So if you see all the databases, what we said, first DB, first TSDB, which was the transient database, first UIDB, which we created from this, and that is the current one because that is the one which we just created right now. And these are all the databases. If you just switch around, you can see Snowflake, all the different databases are right here. Okay, so now let's try using the command of alter database. So use role sysadmin, alter database, first DB. We are trying to set a time for data retention. Time in days is 10. We can do many different things. I want to talk about retention time because we are talking about fail safe and time travel. But I might not be able to exactly show the 90 days thing because I do not have the enterprise edition on my trial window. So let me start writing that. Use role. Sorry, let's move. Role sysadmin then I'll say alter database first DB, then we'll say set pay data retention in days. I could have just copied it, but I said I'll just type it equal to 10. Right, let's run this. Okay, I think I'm not in the right namespace on top. Okay, let me put the colon here that is separating that one. So first of all, yeah, so even it's basically the colon, not the namespace. All right, so if you see here, we have set the retention time to 10 days right now. Unfortunately, we cannot really see, but I'll try show databases, execute this. Okay, I'm not in the account admin, so you have to be in the account admin. Let me change the account admin here on the top here. Yep, remove this, change it to account admin, run. So if you see, all the databases are here. So if you create date is all today's date when we are creating this video, and origin. Now if you see the database which was transient, it is called transient. Ideally, if I would have enterprise edition, I would see the retention time as 10 days. But yeah, I mean, in the future I can make some more videos where there would be where you can see all the retention time or some more altered databases. But for now, I think this is it. So thanks a lot for watching.